compromise your safety for a total stranger? And will you battle superior force? Don't mind the danger. Someone asked me not long ago, how far would I go? And if I think I have the courage to be a hero, I said, I'll do it for my country. I'll do it for SPG. I'll make any sacrifice once you call on me. Yes, I'll do it for my nation without reservation. Just tell me where and what, and I'll be on the spot. Because I love my country, she is my all. I love my country, I'll answer when she calls. No one can dissuade me. No one can discourage me. No matter how hard I do what she asks, but this is my heart. Your brother's keeper, and are you man enough to become freedom fighter? Will you sacrifice for someone else's future? And will you give selflessly without getting back a favor? Someone asked me not long ago, how far would I go? And if I think I had the courage to be a hero, I said, I'll do it for my country. I'll do it for SPG. I'll make any sacrifice once you call me. Yes, I'll do it for my nation. No hesitation. Just tell me where and what, and I'll be on that spot. Because I love my country back. She is my all. Yes, I love my country back. I'll answer when she calls. And no one can dissuade me. No one can discourage me. No matter how hard I do what she asks, this is my heart. Because I love my country back. She is my all. Yes, I love my country back. I'll answer when she calls. And no one can dissuade me. No one can discourage me. No matter how hard I do what she asks, this is my heart. Because I love my country back. She is my all.
The time in St. Vincent and the Grenadines on the 90th day of the third month, 2024, is 8 minutes 30 seconds after 8 o'clock. Tonight's program is currently sponsored by Basil's Bar, and the content and what is said in the program is not those of Basil's Bar. Basil's Bar just decided to spend his money because he realized that we have maximum listenership, and we also thank the management and staff of WFM to provide the transmission point so we can get our Tuesday night's program up and running. Well, I don't know what you want to talk about, but I have some preliminary comments to make. Want to thank all those persons who find ways. I have to tell you how much people got in contact with me last Wednesday. Frank De Silva stood in on the Tuesday night program, and some people are asking if you will be a feature. Well, I'm trying to see if the management and staff will allow me to bring Frank every last Tuesday for the open forum, and then he will walk his way from there. But I want to thank all those persons who met me, who telephone and find ways to contact me to let me know that they thought it was a good program and it brought a breath of fresh air, because Frank has not been on the radio for quite some time. I mean, he participates elsewhere where it's not so nice on a Friday night, but that's just when he calls in. Okay? So I want to say that I know that I have maximum listenership tonight. I'm going to go into the details, right? So I am going to, and while I'm making my presentation, I want you to chug, what young people say, throwback memory. Yeah. Think about Ralph Gonsalves when he became prime minister, how he find ways to get under Vincent's skin. He participate from a political standpoint with the ODD, with Fitzjones and thing. Yeah, remember the bill that they love, Greedy Bill? Yeah. Ralph Gonsalves became prime minister on the 28th. Is it 28th of March 2001? Somewhere around there. And Eustace was the leader of the opposition. Then he passed it back on to Lorraine Friday. So we had a combination of two leaders who came up against Ralph Gonsalves when Ralph Gonsalves became prime minister. And I am of the impression that the NDP have a lot of work cut out for them. They need to insist that their research officer, Mr. Bash, do some more. They need to find ways to encourage the PRO. Is it Lavon? Is it Phillips? I can't remember if it's Phillips. Or well, somebody gonna correct me. Yeah, okay. And candidates for the next general election will be an interesting ingredients for both political party. I went to Bible last Saturday night where the NDP had a meeting and they launched a new candidate in Mr. John. I know Mr. John for quite a long time. And when I actually saw him on the platform, I said, wow, the NDP find a quality Lovell King. Yeah. The NDP find a quality candidate in Mr. John. Like what I tell people, I have to remember my father. My father is the post who introduced me to Mr. John. Mr. John is from somewhere in the Korea Evisham area, and he fell in love with a woman 29 years ago, so he lives in Naga. And he is a quality person. So was a teacher and head teacher, and I think he's an excellent choice. Last night, I was listening to Jomo's program, Voices. Jomo said that he had inspirational and educational radio. And you just asked me, Kingsley, what was your thought on Jomo's program? And Jomo's program is always good. Oh, you asked me this other question. What is my thought about the lady who Jomo was interviewing last night? I wonder how I should, if I should just use one word, disappointed. You think that's too strong of a word? She's a professional because she's university trained. She's been working at Nice Radio for quite some long time. She said last night that she had some challenges and she reclaimed her life and she's making an impact and she's concentrating on Christianity. But she said inflation. I know inflation is a big word. And I often wonder why people think when you come in on Voices, before I used to be on Voices, Jomo invited me to Voices several times. And when he invited me, he told me the morning, I said, what, Jomo want to ambush me? When they come in on Jomo program with regards to who you are, you must come prepared. Okay? When the issue of inflation was last night, when we were small, we used to buy some chewing gum called Jugum for 25 cents. You could have sugar whole juicy with them. And last night she said she buy some chewing gum for about $2 or $3, and she went back to that particular agency. I mean, when she called where she get them, I thought that was a little bit distasteful. They were $9. I said, what? Is that a true example of the inflation rate? I like chewing gum, but me and wheat is a chewing gum. No. Time of this wheat is done, me spit it out. You understand? Or if there's some person I can't find myself a toothbrush, I use a chewing gum to do the rest and do that. But $9, what was the name? She's also Phillips too. I thought that example was poor last night. I was not impressed with that part at all. I don't know if she was informed before last night that she's going to be on Voices, but it appeared that she was not prepared to deal with the. And Jomo was not hard as Jomo normally, but I was not impressed. Is that the quality person that is seeking to be a candidate for the NDP next election? And she said she wants to replace Bernard Wiley, who won the last time. Well, I think Wiley been bad. Okay, all right. I'll go complete the rest there. It's amazing. But here's something, at times, I have a friend who listening. He's called the Captain from Edinburgh. He said he's beat up on the NDP. And this evening, he take a battering ram and start to beat me and tell me, NDP. What I say to Captain, me, NDP, me, for a political party, before saying the Grenades. But I make the bones that I am a supporter of the NDP. You could say where you want, but But here's something. When you hear the name Ralph Gonsalves, what comes to your mind? And Mr. Crick don't like me this. They are equally qualified. Eh? Dr. Gonsalves has a PhD. Dr. Friday has a PhD. Right. They qualify. The only thing Dr. Gonsalves have over Lorraine Friday so far, Dr. Gonsalves is full of charisma, and what you see is what you get. It's not an acting. It's not an artificial. It's not a makeup you put it on. Gonsalves is just Gonsalves, okay? But we have to give Lorraine Friday some credit to making that drastic change that he's trying to come around as he's a people post. But that will take some doing, but here's something. You have to pay attention to Ralph Gonsalves, Ralph Gonsalves, another politician, On Friday, and the NDP, it seems as if they don't want the job. Poor research officer Bash, Lavon King is the name, PRO, need to step up our game. But me see eye to eye with nature. So he not there with me anyway because of NDP. And Friday, people say we should give him a chance. Of course, he deserves a chance. He's one of the candidates vying for prime ministership, and he's closer today than Camelo and Subotu Caesar. But Friday, you have to take your job seriously. National Heroes Day. I can remember Arne Eustace. Arne Eustace, when he stood as opposition, most often time he just send Mr. Culture, John Horn, to represent the NDP. And whenever Eustace had a chance, he spoke about the issue of the Garifuna people. And I think I can remember him saying that if he became prime minister, he would have given them honorary citizenship. And I can't remember who the other person would be, who say, man, me ain't supporting that. Me ain't supporting that because they want to take we woman and they want to take we land. Wait, we can't remember who said so, but they just beat it in my head, right? Okay. Yeah, that was that. Up to the listen to the Prime Minister Research Officer beating up on NDP for their poor vision. They're right to beat up on them because Lorraine Friday went up and speak at the National Heroes Day presentation up at Dorchester Hill. He has to remember, first, he's the leader of the opposition. Secondly, You want Rob Gonsalves job so bad. So you have to fight Gonsalves with some big political gloves. Prime Minister spoke. Prime Minister. Play some politics. Friday, need to play the same politics. You should have reminded the Prime Minister when you spoke on National Heroes Day. It was said, like you probably forget who said. I can't remember who said, but I can remember when Mr. Yusuf said that he will give them honorary citizenship and he will provide some incentive for them to come back home and thing. And I can't remember who this supposed to be. And I just possibly brainhold it today. To who say they want to come and take we woman, they want to come and take back we land, and they want this, that. Friday, you should remind Dr. Gonsalves when he spoke in the past and how he spoke about what NDP proposed to do with the guy for the people. But you want to go up there, go play nice. You think this kind of gentle motor thing is working like you used to try? You used to try that and you ain't getting no way. I really tell the people who support the NDP, you know, that Gonsalves ain't no easy walk over, you know. They just sit by hoping to win by default. Win by default? That ain't working. That ain't happening at all. And there's no evidence to suggest that the Europe is going to lose by default. Because look at the central appointment that the Gonsalves is making. Senator Bob, Senator Peters, Senator Benny Brown. They might not win their seats if they choose to run in the next election, but they are quality candidates who could go from strength to strength. Okay? And he is preparing for the fight because you don't know. Gonsalves understands and he sees things in hindsight. And it's quite obvious. We may see when Jimmy Prince gets weary or when people say we didn't have use for you, you may see Senator Bob. Senator Peters indicate that she has some interest to become an elected parliamentarian, and it's quite obvious that the people which suggest to Benny Brown that take a bite at the cherry. And you know, one thing I love about Rob Gonsalves, I'm not going to repeat that, you know, one thing I love about Rob Gonsalves is how he didn't, and he's not throwing Senator Morgan under the bus. I can remember when that allegation surfaced, and the matter went to court, and the amount of stress they put when NDP had a witch hunt for Senator Morgan, and Rob Gonsalves stood by Senator Morgan. And I love Rob Gonsalves as a human being for standing by Senator Morgan because the court speak and the court spoke of what took place with the allegation, and the NDP had a witch hunt out for her, you know. Today she's still an executive member from a senatorial standpoint within the ULP, and I applaud Rob Gonsalves for continuing showing faith. I think it's a good move. You look at the NDP. Why Mr. Yusuf was the leader of the NDP? Israel Bruce didn't stand a chance to be a senator. But we see when the leader of the NDP changed to Friday, he brought in Israel Bruce from where I'm sitting with the advice of MP Laycock, because it's quite clear that Cynthia Laycock is fond of Israel Bruce. And then we have the other senators who are sitting there. I was trying to find out something over the last couple of days. See the NDP bring a quality candidate in Mr. Andrew John. I'm hoping that they find a candidate to replace Kebakas, Batis, etc., etc. Okay? Somebody told me that there is a quality person working in the civil servant is trying to make a choice to run for the NDP. If that is true, I'm going to support that young man. I think that he is a quality person. And we always wish that when we becomes an adult and we become parents, our children might see what we are doing, and we are doing it in the interest of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And I once thought that Sir James Mitchell, who sat as Prime Minister for 17 years, could or should have encouraged one of his daughters to become a candidate. You may say, which one you think will make a good quality candidate? From where I'm sitting, I think Louise Mitchell would have made a good candidate. From where I'm sitting, I thought instead of Fitzbramble, the shipping in from Canada, it should be Maya Eustace replacing her father. But NDP have a different vision. So I would like to see a new candidate in East St. George. Either that young man from Inland Revenue Department or whoever the rank and file of the executive arm see it fit to recommend to the NDP. But here what happened? Courtney Silver was a member of the ULP. He didn't get the green light to run for them. So he make a political change, and anyhow you take it, that was his fundamental right. He won the runoff between all who took part, but the NDP / Dr. Friday used the veto power and say, oh, we're going in with the experience. A man who still at St. for 20 years and coming back now and say, he is the obvious choice. No, man, that is going backward. But otherwise, they should relinquish that post and find somebody else. But if what I heard last night is who they have to replace him, you better stay with the way you have. Because, like I say, I was not impressed at all with my media friend last night. It's just a walk as moving in the park with the ULP when they come in to choose their quality candidate, because it ain't no doubt in anybody's mind that Senator Peters is a quality person. Senator Morgan, everybody know that I have a soft spot for Senator Morgan. Benny Brown, she has some sort of experience and we work it together. Yeah, she used to do the activating morning right there. And Senator Bob, Rob Gonsalves, he been paying attention to her since she was 7 years. You see the kind of vision Rob Gonsalves has? And I look at her a few days at the airport and I say to myself, what's a vision of loveliness, eh? Real African Empress. I'm looking for the right choice award. It's really good. But Captain, I know you're listening, right? And I want to make an appeal to you because I know you're very good friends with Dr. Friday. Tell him you need to step up his game if you want to unseat Ralph Gonsalves as the Prime Minister. First thing, Ralph Gonsalves going to have 23 years of experience as Prime Minister on March 28th. That ain't come easier. That's a lot of effort. And you have to beat Ralph Gonsalves at his own game. You sitting as opposition, Lorraine Friday. You must study your opponent. You have to look for his weak point and his trap and try to weaken him. You have to beat him on the armor and the bottom foot. You have to look for the weakest spot on them. And a fellow who involved in try corner like Bobo Shaka will tell you. Don't care how you try to straighten the arm and the bottom foot. That's your weak spot. Friday need to come out and put some political punches on the Rav Gonsalves. You gone up by the national heroes up Dorchester Hill. And you go up, you go play kind and gently and believe they're gonna work. Like I say, I'm all over the place and I'm hoping. Well, I was listening to a relation this morning and I hear, and no, that is present. I heard Candyman, well, he must be up by the of Stony Grounds. I hope he was. I wish he could have called me tonight. I hear them making an appeal for you to try to see if we could put together a meeting with Big Samuel and Rav Gonsalves. Well, I'll be honest with all. If I was Rav Gonsalves and Candyman come to me and tell me try to put together a meeting with Big Samuel at a fire Candyman. Fire him. I would say, as on today, your service are no longer needed. If I was Rav Gonsalves, I would not entertain any discussion with Bigger Bigs. Bigger Bigs use all kind of words. And one of the words he always used is a wicked prime minister. But he don't say prime minister, he just say Rav. He be either here the prime minister, sex and size. He remind me of Dr. Byron Cox. Yeah, he remind me of Dr. Byron Cox, who is highly qualified. But whenever he speaks about Rav Gonsalves, he always want to call him Ralph. No, when you reach certain level of society and you have certain responsibility, you have to give honor where honor is due. You're the person who might not get what Caesar so rightly deserve is a voter. Yeah, because he can't meet Kamala for prime ministership. You can laugh for you. I dead serious with her. They say give Caesar what is due to Caesar. No, Caesar have to remain deputy. And if I were Rav Gonsalves, I send you go to City or Lewis job and run my friend at the API with him, Sean Rose. When I started here, Sean Rose, when I ask people hear you on the radio, since you be my API, well, I don't hear my friend anymore, Jennifer Richardson. I noticed my paper and Frank paper have a new editor. She's good. She's good. Yeah, call it out of it. It's not bad. Right, Frank? Yeah. But I am really worried about the NDP plan and how they plan to unseat Rav Gonsalves and the European next election. You may say, but Kingsley next election until next year, December 10th around there. I say, yeah, but it's just a sleeping week politically, You take the Prime Minister and cultivate thoughts in the persons who he like to see as candidate. Who NDP have to replace Patel Matthews? We're going to play tick for tack going back with he. Who NDP have to run against Brewster in Central Leeward? They might say, well, he's so strong, we will just run somebody to run somebody's sake. Okay? Well, we don't Senator John. And when she decided not to take back her teaching job, I was a bit disappointed. But I seen today what she did, and it will pay off if she continues to work hard. She's going to give that political a good fight. She's going to make a fight of whoever that young lady is, who is the hospital administrator, which I think is also a quality person. But I need to hear from NDP supporters in particular tonight. I need to call. Let me know what you see as some of the weaknesses in the NDP and where they could strengthen it to make sure that, because I tell you something, if I want to give Rav Gonsalves another 5 years from, the NDP going to fall apart, because, hey, they're trying to see if they could correct where Eustace run for a couple of elections as leader of the party and then he became prime minister. Friday is about the same time. And Fitzbramble, who aspire, Ralph said he's a young 60. He say he fit like a fiddle. So, people go say, okay, Fitzbramble might be the obvious choice. Because, hey, when they had a chance to give Sinclair Major Leacock a chance to be the leader of the NDP, not even Daniel Cummins voted for him. You understand? So it's quite clear. But I didn't hear Sinkalika say so. So let me apologize if I make a statement that I didn't say, but somebody say he said he would like to be the deputy prime minister when Lorraine Friday become prime minister. Well, Sinkalika can remind you, under our constitution, there's not a position of deputy prime minister. You may like to be the deputy leader, but you got to push along nature because nature is the first vice president. Imagine you got a highly qualified person like Sinkalika and he is the second vice president. And both France, let's try to just up. One of the presidents are here, and the honorable Sinker Major League is here. No, both. He's the second vice president. I never see more stupid. You can imagine NDP by some stretch of imagination winning the next election. Friday gotta go overseas. And they hear who they say acting, Prime Minister, Nature Stephen. We're gonna be the laughing stock of the world. No wonder Sinker don't state the claim that you would like to be the deputy or the acting prime minister whenever Friday becomes prime minister if the people of St. Vincent and Grenadines do vote for him. Let me say good evening to Dove Howard, cry baby Dove Howard. I guess you're up on there, listen. Max Walker. Max, I think I shouldn't call tonight, eh? I heard you made a presentation this morning and boom. It's the worst presentation I ever hear you make. So don't call it tonight, okay? Definitely don't call. Because if you call, hey, I cut it in half. Yeah. Come on. I love Max so bad. But what I hear Max this morning. Max don't we say. And wait, somebody asked me to go back on this part. Yeah, so let me see. Few people were calling on Boom to make sure that Candyman, but he was calling Sweetie Man over there, but you know what I mean by that part there. You know, candy is a sweet thing, so okay. Right, so they're asking him by this Thursday, use his influence to see if he could get the Prime Minister to have a meeting with Bigger Bigs. Right, Candyman, I just hope you're hearing me. Don't do that. Because I strongly recommend that Ralph Gonsalves fire you if you ever do that. And if I was Ralph Gonsalves, me ain't entertaining no discussion with Bigger Bigs. Bigger Bigs have to learn to respect the office of the Prime Minister and respect the holder of the office of the Prime Minister. And it happened to be Ralph Gonsalves, okay? Selvin Jones, who died. St. Vincent Beach used to always quote him and say, every election in St. Vincent that we had since 1951 was free and fair. And I believe that because, hey, I was accused Ralph Gonsalves of all things. This, that, thief election, this. You go thief election and win one seat and win one by one vote. Talika go in parliament and call them one vote callers. And that'd be crazy. So they put things in place and hoping to win the next election. But no, they're going to cry that Bigger Bigs and what your name again? From Edinburgh, Dove, Howard. Cry, baby. Just crying. You know, if you want to know how they annoying when they cry, ask any mother who have a newborn baby, and the baby, you just feed the baby, and the baby say they cry. That's all them for you. Yeah? Yeah. So, that's all. And let me say a special good evening to my very good friend, and I emphasize friend with punctuation mark and bold letters, Jacqueline Jordan. Jacqueline, good evening to you. And let me say good evening to Val Matthias' mommy, Mrs. Jordan. And I hope my friend Vampa is listening. Janet Matthews, when I want you to call her last week, Tuesday, you didn't call. I hope you listen. And all the persons who tell me that they listen. And I met a guy up Edinburgh the other night and he said, man, you should tell our first caller. Let's go to the lines and see what the person say. I hope it's not a phone. Good evening. Good evening.
Kingsley.
Hey.
I understand. Good night. I understand you requested my resignation, so I called to tender.
I don't catch your voice. I just call it Candy Man, but Hagan, you mean Sweetie Man. So yeah. No, but honestly speaking, Candy Man, I listen to you, and I have a lot of respect for you because through Glenn Jackson, you and I became friends, and I've known you for quite a long time. I heard some people making a request of you. I hope you don't fall for that request, eh? Because if I was Ralph, I will fire you.
Why?
Because of some of the things. Because some of the things that the
yeah,
post.
Yeah, but
go ahead. Listen
yeah, but that individual, the request of Bigger Bigs proves that he doesn't believe, he has no conviction in the things that he has said and continues to say about Ralph Gonsalves.
Well, it has to be like
it
that.
Proves that it's just word of mouth. It's just his mouth. He's just saying it.
Okay.
Because if you really did believe that Ralph Gonsalves was a dictator and an authoritarian,
yes,
and a wicked man, you wouldn't even think about requesting a meeting with a man like that.
Definitely.
Especially if you think he hates you and he hates all of intention. You wouldn't bother to meet with him.
Well, yeah.
So imagine you think that this is Ralph. Ralph is a wicked, authoritative dictator who is hateful and vengeful and doesn't like me because of my political affiliations. But if I go on radio and plead, he will meet with me.
Yes.
And he will acquiesce to my request.
And pondering on the word, Candyman is a comedian. The man acting a comedian. He said you the biggest comedian in the whole world, and he asked me to lobby for him. Crazy.
Well, I thought it was a joke because the man delivered the biggest punchline for the morning. It had to be a joke, Kingsley. Here you are. You're saying, well, anything Candyman say, anything that goes on with Candyman, I don't take it seriously because it's a joke. Right? Because he's a comedian.
Yes.
And then as soon as you finish saying that, you say, organize a meeting with Ralph for me, please. Now, I really want to talk to him. Yeah. Well, I thought it's a joke. So if I tell you yes, I hope you take it as a joke.
And don't come. No, but seriously, Candyman, I mean, I listened to it this morning and I found it interesting, but I said, I will Candyman in fall for that because if I was Ralph Gonsalves and they said Bigger Bigs, I'd send you home. Seriously.
No. If you were Ralph Gonsalves and you were a dictator, an authoritarian, a wicked man, then you would say that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not Ralph Gonsalves.
Okay.
And Bigger Bigs knows that's not Ralph Gonsalves. That's why he wants to meet with him.
Okay. Well, you do what you think is best in the interest of keeping your job.
How many wicked evil men you want to meet with?
None.
Right. So you think Biggs is any different? You think Bigger Bigs want to go meet with any wicked evil men? So he knows when he say those things, he's just misleading people.
Yes,
it's politics.
Yes.
But Ralph Gonsalves is not that man.
But for listeners though, he spoke about a project that he conceived in his mind. Have you ever seen? Have you ever seen it?
How I can see it? I can't see it inside his mind. I'm not an MRI. I'm not a CT scan machine.
Well,
I don't know what's going on inside Bigger Bigs' head.
All I thought went into my mind this morning because he gave me the impression, and I said it last week when Franco said that I had a here and a there with Bigger Bigs on his proposed project because he said, well, and Mr. Strode,
he never sent it to me.
Mr. Strode called him.
He sent me a letter.
Oh, okay. So you
sent me a letter.
So you don't know the content.
But I never saw the plan.
You don't know the plans of the project that he has. But
the man says it never existed. It only exists in his mind.
Yes, I remember him saying that. So he has everything in his head,
right?
And that's probably what he wants to see.
So how do you throw the entire weight of the state apparatus behind an idea that resides entirely inside an individual's head?
Yes. And you know what happened, right? Candyman? A lot of people who I think has a high level of common sense by the story from this man. They fall head cook and sink for it. I said, but these people are crazy.
I don't think so. I don't think they are. I think people
so the mama guy
are just more interested in politics. Yeah, it's politics. They feel they can score some cheap political points. The problem is that they don't realize that sensible people are listening to them.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And sometimes people believe that if they could fool themselves, they can fool everybody.
Well, I brush it aside, so they can't convince me. I don't brush it aside.
No, but if Bigger Big, I'm not saying he doesn't have a plan, right? But here's the thing: Bigger Big says this thing, this thing can change the entire face of the economy of Simmons and the Grenadines. It's huge. It's big.
I heard him saying it's up to this morning.
Right.
But
now you also said.
But a renowned farmer, Candyman, Mr. Shoot from up in the acres area. So he don't buy it. He didn't buy it. He don't think it's gonna cause that. I mean, his politics.
Well,
and he was being honest.
Here's the thing, Kingsley. Bigger Big says this is the biggest thing that will happen for farming and for the economy.
Yes,
all right?
Yes.
He was asked the question, have you ever spoken to Dr. Friday about this? And he replied saying yes, at least twice.
Yes.
He said yes, at least twice. He spoke to Friday about it at least twice.
Right, and Friday's trying to get Ralph Gonsalves a job. Never come to Parliament and speak about this important project.
Never.
Come on, the people crazy.
They've had, and not only that, the NDP has produced 2 manifestos since then,
Yes.
It ain't appear in the manifesto, it ain't appear on the campaign trail, it ain't appear anywhere on Nice Radio, on Friday ain't come and make a proposal,
Yes.
Nothing.
Yes.
No representation. So I said, well, I think Dr. Friday probably just not interested in anything. Bigger Big retorts. No. I wouldn't say that.
Yes.
In the same breath, he is convinced that Ralph Gonsalves is not interested in it. But he has never had a conversation with Ralph Gonsalves about it.
Imagine that, eh?
He spoke to Friday about it twice. Friday ain't bother with him. He thinks Friday is interested. Never talked to Ralph. And he assumes, and he's convinced, Ralph is not interested.
Yes.
These people are talking to sensible people.
Well, I'm glad you read into it like you were read into it this morning, because I listened to every single one of them, and when I don't know, just rubbish them and throw them in the garbage bin. I said, could
we're open to dialogue with people. It doesn't mean we're going to let them mama guy us. But we'll talk to you.
Yes.
We'll talk to you. Ralph Gonsalves is not a monster. And he will talk to Bigger Bigs. The problem is that Bigger Bigs is not going to be allowed to talk to Ralph Gonsalves, even if he wants to. You could imagine him going back to all his crazy friends after he done go up and sit down in Ralph's office.
Well, Bigger Big saying that the program will benefit the people. It may be so, but I got tell him from where I'm sitting, if I was Ralph Gonsalves, and you come here, I fire you, and not entertaining Bigger Bigs with no discussion. Seriously. Definitely.
Well, it's a good thing Kingsley is not Ralph Gonsalves. Ralph Gonsalves is not. He's not a communist. He's not a dictator. He's not an authoritarian leader. He's not no wicked man.
Well,
all the names, all the wicked, evil, vengeful names that Bigger Bigs has showered on Ralph Gonsalves over the years and continues.
Yes.
Anything you post about, if you post a video on Facebook with a man having a bath in a river, Biggs will find a way to relate that to Ralph. If you post a picture with a lizard on a wall,
they have an obsession.
Bigger Biggs will find a way.
All of
tell
them
you
people
that Ralph wicked. The lizard can't even go in a tree because Ralph wicked.
Yeah.
It had to sleep on a wall. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But he wants to meet with that guy, that same wicked guy.
That ain't happening.
You know what I mean?
That ain't happening at all. Trust me.
And I hope they meet. I hope they get to meet, because I would love to hear the plan. Nobody's heard the plan. Bing, Bing was on radio, and Bing is the interviewer. I'm not the interviewer,
Yes.
right? You can't come to me and tell me about a phantom plan. This come from a group of guys who love to talk about phantom projects. You know what I mean? You will put schematics and all the plans and all the 3D rendering for a port in front of them, and they will tell you, man, that's a phantom. That ain't happening.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
You will do it for all kind of projects, and they will watch it and tell you that is not happening.
Yes.
But a man could come and tell you with no evidence whatsoever. I have this great plan, and he says my brother has seen it, and my brother thinks it's great, and I'm gone. And that is all you need as a radio interviewer to convince you that it is real. No, I could ask you
something I want to tell you, but I'm going to tell you off air. Is that for radio consumption?
Yeah. But I would love to see the plan.
I'm going to tell you this, Candyman. When your hand is in the fire and they beg me to pull it out, I'll forgive some conditions, okay? And some of the conditions on you is that you don't beat up on me. I ain't going to help you. You understand what I'm saying? I think you figure it out
now. Don't say them things about me. I'm a real bad man, I'm a bad man,
The baddest man on the radio.
We love in the ULP, we love Dr. Friday. We love him so much. I mean, he is just the best. And in Eustace was challenging at times, but Friday
making all the job too easy, man. Too easy.
Friday's God's gift to labor.
Making all the job too easy.
Yeah. Friday. Dr. Friday should have come gift wrap. He should have.
I know.
Should have come gift wrap to the PM to Ralph Gonzalez from Jesus with love.
With love.
With labor love.
Yeah. But on the other side, I want to talk about something else though. Policing in St. Vincent, have you seen any transformation since the new commissioner has been instilled?
Well, we've seen a continuation. There have been some measures and matters that were discussed and planned out even before that the commissioner has come into the position. And we've seen a continuation and carrying out of those measures. We've also seen some new initiatives that are being implemented.
Yes.
Of course, the new commissioner has the benefit of some new vehicles. They have 10 new bikes, for instance, 5 new pickups. Yeah. They're going to get some more during the course of the year as the year rolls on. And more tools are becoming available to them, crime-fighting tools. You've seen them doing walkabout.
Yes, that's what
the senior officers, including the commissioner.
Yes.
And there are some other strategic measures that are not necessary and desirable to be spoken about in the public domain.
But I could remember, Candyman, former Commissioner Keith Miller did speak in volume about the importance of community policing, and I'm glad to see that the new commissioner is taking a leave and doing some work around meeting people. The idea.
Yeah, well, you're right. You're right.
Yes, that's cool.
And that's why I was so annoyed with Jomo Thomas this morning.
But I'm going there just
because Jomo seems to forget that he is a member of the society. I mean, the guy operates as though he's a robot and he's untouchable. This crime touches all of them. And if you listen, if you are a criminal, if you are one of these guys who are going around and robbing people, for instance, if you're one of them thieves, and you listen to the commissioner, and you listen to Jomo, I have no doubt in my mind whose side you would be on. You take up Jomo's side of the argument wholeheartedly and without thinking, without flinching. Because sometimes I wonder if Jomo is really concerned about the well-being of people. When a big man like Jomo, a sensible man like Jomo, he's not an idiot. He knows what he's saying. But when he can come on radio and say, oh, one of the guys from Grenada, when he turned up at the court, he said, I didn't do anything, I didn't say anything, and the man just shot me. And you take his word for it, You have police officers there, and he says, oh, the Prime Minister says, I'm inclined to believe my officers. Yes. Yes, there's a criminal that you know what kind of havoc those guys could have wreaked on our society. You know what kind of havoc they could have unleashed on our society had they not been caught. They've already proven that they have a propensity for violent crime.
Yes.
And they're not afraid to commit it. And then our reputation is being dragged through the mud internationally. We have CNN. CNN was calling down to get reports on what's going on in SBG.
Yes.
Well, exactly.
Yes.
We now launching the biggest resort on the island of St. Vincent and the Grenadines in history. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Vincent and the Grenadines is being advertised as we speak right now on Lifetime TV and other major network television.
Here, Candyman, I hear some people asking a question. What St. Vincent is going to benefit from the CELAC meeting which are held here? Let me tell you something, Candyman.
People are asking that.
Some people from the NDP who supported them blindly, asking.
But are you surprised that they asked that question?
Well, I think it's a stupid question because
but are you surprised? Is that a surprising question?
No, it's not a surprising question. It's not a surprising question because
that's a kind of sophomoric kind of viewpoint.
Yeah, because the amount of advertisement we get through that CELAC meeting and from Sanders itself is the benefit. I could speak from a spit-off standpoint, Candyman. That week was a very fruitful week for me. And I didn't get a work directly from them, okay? Just a spit-off.
Mm-hmm.
So people wondering what we're going to benefit from it. We're going to get awesome.
But
I know, Candyman, a taxi driver, he is from Annisville. He lives in the country. He came to the Agala International Airport the other day with some watermelon. It's the biggest watermelons I ever see. He make one stop. You get sell along there. One stop. He couldn't even stop by the supermarket train that he had to go. And people ask him about this spill off. There are
no benefits. No, I don't have any benefits, man. They don't benefit. What are the benefits of Jamaica? What benefits have Jamaica derived from boosting its international profile? What benefits have Barbados derived from boosting its international profile? The Bahamas, because those are some of the most well-known names of countries within the region.
Yes.
And you would have to be blind on about 20 different levels, blind, deaf, and dumb, to not know what benefits those countries have derived from boosting their international profile.
Yes.
And then you have to multiply the lack of wisdom by such an astronomical number that I cannot fathom it myself, to not understand that it would mean the very same thing for St. Vincent and the Grenadines to boost its international profile. You see, these people think that it's good for Barbados to do it. The same people praise Barbados when they do it. They praise Jamaica when they do it. They praise the Bahamas and so on when they do it. But when it's done by St. Vincent and the Grenadines, it's bad and it doesn't have any benefit. But it's only because they hate Ralph. It's only because they hate Ralph.
Hating with their obsession. Because let me tell you something, right? I heard a presentation earlier by Mr. Lanford Weeks, a former experienced peer. And when I heard him and he made the presentation, I said, boy, we need more people like him who could think with a level of impartiality and understand what's taking place. About the
He's a very wise man. He's a library of knowledge.
Exactly. I said to myself, why people cannot be like him? I mean, he critical of certain things when they're needful, but when he have to talk about what the benefits are I am an individual who benefit from the last CELAC meeting here, and I think that other individuals
Yeah.
could speak to that too. Yes.
Yeah, but the benefits are going to be long lasting.
And tremendous.
We had media here from all around the world. We were covered. Let me explain to you. All of Latin America and the Caribbean, CELAC, constitutes membership with a combined population of 650 million people.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people, right? Now, all of them were represented the summit. And the media people came to cover and report back to home.
Yes.
So if you were living in those countries and had never heard about St. Vincent and the Grenadines, you heard about St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Definitely.
This lovely place, and you didn't just hear. You saw wonderful, beautiful visuals of a gorgeous resort nestled on the western side of the island, with tropical rainbows in the background, gorgeous mountain ranges.
You remember that view? Remember that picture or something else?
You should have seen them. You should have seen the media.
Yes.
They were going crazy.
Yes.
You know, and the picturesque West Indian sunsets, Vincent John sunsets on the ocean. That's what they came and reported on all of those things.
Yes.
And then there was representation day. The personal envoy of the president of China, Xi Jinping, right? And they brought their own film crew. The Chinese attended and brought their own film crew and reported on CCTV. What's China's population? 1.5 billion people. The Indians were represented. The Europeans were represented. The United Nations Secretary General attended. And you know the media follows him and reports on, apart from his office, of course, reports on wherever he goes and whatever he does.
The Brazil post went to Bequia after the summit to take in niceties in the Grenadines. That's big promotion there.
You see? So people who never heard about St. Vincent and the Grenadines, I mean, the promotion that we got from this, the free promo, I should say, that we got from this, is even greater than sitting on the United Nations Security Council.
It's priceless, man, priceless.
Of course, we can't pay for that.
Yes.
You know, but the Prime Minister loved to say there are people who know the price of everything and the value of nothing.
Well, I really appreciate you calling me tonight. I don't want to say that I allow you to hug the program. For me, you could talk for now until 10 o'clock, but they say program is about everybody. So, any final,
That's all right.
Any final comments you want to make before you leave?
Well, I just want to indicate that the gun amnesty is still on, and I want to encourage people. We might not have any persons who have illegal guns listening, but there might be individuals who know of other people who might have illegal guns in their possession. And I want to encourage them personally. I'm not like Jomo. I want to encourage them personally. And I want to challenge Jomo Thomas to get on board and try to be a part of the solution and not aggravate the problem. It is within our interest as citizens to work with the police. If we work against the police, we are working for the criminals. If you have illegal weapons, you know anybody with illegal weapons, ask them to take them into the police, please. This amnesty will run until the end of April. When this amnesty runs out and the new legislations take hold, there are going to be significant increases in terms of fines
And punishment. I hope so.
and sentencing.
Yes.
I'm telling you. So, for instance, if you might do 3 years for a gun-related, possession, you might end up as a first offense, for instance. You might end up doing 5 to 7 years under the new
Proposed
legislation.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And we don't want.
So you're making an appeal to the officer of the court, Jomo Thomas, to have a little bit more common sense when it comes to the issue of amnesty and gun-related crimes.
Yes. Stop fighting the police. I just want them to stop fighting the police. Stop fighting the police. Yeah. I mean, the police are crime fighters. So when Jomo fighting the police, we call him. You know?
Yes.
There are times when you will have to go up against the police in court. And when those times arise, you go to court, you do your job, we expect you to do your job. We're not going to hold your malice spirit.
And that is his job, right? To be defense.
That's his job.
Yes.
You know, and that's a part of balance in the society.
Yes.
But you have to know when you leave the courtroom. After you left the courtroom, according to Grant, you don't keep things in your craw.
Take off your robe and go back
and you're calling on radio every morning to tell people that we have the worst police force and the wicked and the incompetent and all this nonsense. Yeah, like people don't travel. We could have the worst police force. All police officers are not bad guys. Anybody who watch TV or travel to any of these other islands, you know.
Candyman, when I was younger, right, my father told me that a fellow in Trinidad named Barrows was a rank and file police officer. He said he been a roughneck boy. Roughneck as sandpaper.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the police in Trinidad roll. The police walking down a Port of Spain. I'm always in Port of Spain, Kinky. When you see the police walking together in a group in Port of Spain, people flee out of their way. They will walk on you. They will push you and shove you out the way. So even if they push you down the road, they will push you out the way.
So
don't stand there.
They don't really be attitude, right?
Right?
They don't really be attitude.
For me? Yeah. I Grand sling that one in so slick. What is it? Really be attitude to them. You know what I mean? I mean, it's so true. And people who go around the region and even internationally, you Kingsley, if Jomo driving his car in New York City or in Kansas or in Philadelphia, because he's a US man. He love the US. He love to tell people all kind of thing about US. But nobody love US more than him. Nobody love the US visa more than him. You know what I mean? Nobody love US citizenship more than Joe.
Yeah,
the man who hates US the most, right? But if he is driving, in any of those cities as a black man looking like how he looks, and the police pull him over, he had to worry about whether or not he is going to survive the encounter. Am I right or am I right?
I think you have some merit there. But here what happened next week, Monday. Let me give you an invitation. Call Jomo and see if you could come and voice it at Jomo, okay? Yeah, I have enough.
No, I will never go and get the program.
I have enough for you tonight.
Think I ain't going on Jomo program. You should be fired. I don't take my lad following and carry on Jomo program for his 12 people who don't be listening to him. His 12 disciples. I have time with that.
All right.
When he get 500 people listening to him, I will go.
Okay.
I just have more people. I just have 20 times more people watching Jack's live than on Jomo program.
So you think you helped me to get some listenership tonight too?
I don't know. You seem to know what you're doing, but you certainly have more than Jomo. I'll tell you that.
have a good evening, Candyman. Yes, okay.
Right,
okay. That is my friend Candyman, the Prime Minister, acting press secretary. I think it's 9 minutes after 9. We seem to have Beckermate. Beckermate, come here. Good evening, Beckermate. Good evening.
Hey, good evening,
Good
Kingsley.
evening.
Good
Right.
evening, my friend.
Yeah, sorry to have you waiting
Yeah.
so long, man, but I had to give my friend some time there.
No, it's okay. It's okay. But the only thing I'm gonna say is, the only thing I'm gonna say is that when Candyman come and take, and you have all this time, you give him all this time to speak. He needs to come with a message instead of focusing on Jomo Thomas. Jomo is a wonderful lawyer. I would choose Jomo Thomas any day to represent me any place, in the world.
Yes.
So maybe he has. I don't know if this is a personal issue, but all he can talk about is Jomo. I mean, really. I mean, come with a message, Candy. Bring a message to the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Tell us what's going on with crimes and violence and different stuff like that.
Yes.
Jomo is entitled to his opinion. But anyway, you were talking earlier about Lavon Phillips, and I too, I'm going to agree with you. I was very disappointed last night.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, I was, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it or hide it. I'm a strong supporter of the NDP.
Yes.
I would, and I expect the NDP to be in office in the next general election.
You're very confident.
But I think she was. Yeah, I'm very confident they're going to win. Yes. I'm confident. I'm going to be honest with you, Kingsley. I think she was not prepared, and I was a little taken back. Yeah, really.
I think my friend who's sitting here with me did say that he think that she came in not prepared because Jomo is not an easy guy to go with. They have to come prepared. Okay.
Right.
So, yes.
Right. Because from what I know about Miss Phillips, she's a very intelligent person. She's bright.
Yeah, she's a university graduate.
Right. And when you go into any interview or whatever, you have to prepare. You got to read about stuff. Yes. You can't get there and say, well, you don't want to talk about this and you can't talk about that. And it makes you look awkward, really, in different ways.
Yes, definitely.
Go ahead.
I can remember my friend, this is Ijilin. She used to always tell me, Kingsley, when you go on the radio, if you're going to speak for 2 hours, walk with enough material to speak for 2 hours because you have to be prepared. Preparedness is important, and I agree with you.
Exactly. But I'm gonna say something tonight, really, and I know I'm probably gonna get people gonna disagree with me.
Yeah.
But I, in my opinion, Kingsley, I don't think we have ever had any, whether it's people in government or opposition, is working as hard as Dr. Friday and his team today to get into office.
You really convinced? Convinced that they're working hard?
They're working hard. Dr. Friday is out there every single day, Kingsley. Mr. Leacock is out there. Every one of them are out there. But
my friend, I made a request to Dr. Friday to come on this program with me. He didn't say to me, but somebody said he said that I was a traitor, so he's not coming with me. If he said that is not nice.
And I know Dr. Friday. He's more of a diplomat. He would not say something like that.
Okay.
I'm not going to. I mean, Dr. Friday is a class act. If he's going to disagree with you, he's going to do it diplomatically and respectfully.
Okay.
He's not going to send a message. I know he's not going to go on the Sunday morning program because I actually told him not to too. Well, he should not go to that program.
Well, I be honest with you, I tried one time to have him to come to the East Yotan program and the WFM on Sundays, and he told me that he's not going to appear on the program. Well, I was just trying to see if I could get him to come and spread his wings to reach a different audience, but he said he's not going to come. But when I was told what he said, I said I have to hear that for myself. Until he tell me so, I'm going to still give him the benefit of the doubt that what you're saying about him, maybe so. Okay, right.
No, Dr. Friday is a class act, and I think you should reach out again to him. I'm sure he'll come. Yeah. I'm sure he'll come. But, I'm being honest. I don't think any other government or opposition is is working as hard as Dr. Friday and the team that he has, with him. I think you asked about what Dr. Gonzalez have over Dr. Friday. The only thing Dr. Gonzalez have over Dr. Friday is that Dr. Gonzalez is Prime Minister. And Dr. Friday hasn't got there yet, but he's getting there. He's getting there, and he's going to...
You're really confident, boy. I wish I could be like you.
I am very confident. I am very confident that the NDP is going to form the next government in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Yes.
But we have to have, I listen to some people who say they're supporters of the NDP, but that you're supporting the NDP and yet you're talking and dragging the party down. That's not going to get us into office. I mean, I can guarantee you that there was issues going on in the Labour Party camp, and you're not hearing nobody out there, dragging them down or talking badly about them, except for the few of us who are NDP supporters. Yeah. But there are a lot of issues going on in that camp, Yeah. But they have the few who says some of them get on Saturday morning show and be talking so badly about NDP. Oh. And you're saying, but you're a big supporter of the NDP. How could you be a big supporter when you're dragging them down like that?
Well, I'm glad you raised that point because I think my friend is listening, and my cousin, Dougie the Freitas, and I agree with you that that trio is doing worse for the NDP than the NDP realize. Dove Howard and the cry baby guy from some overseas and bigger than them, and they're making it hard for NDP to win. I agree with you.
No, and it bothers and troubled me as a person who support the NDP, Dr. Friday and his team. It bothers me to get there and Saturday mornings and be talking. Some of the things that they're talking really doesn't add up. How could you be saying?
The only one that makes sense is Old Valentine.
Right? Yes. Mr. Valentine.
Yes.
Listen.
Yes.
And Carla, sometimes, stepped in and he would think, but how could you say that you're supporting the NDP, but you're being so petty to talk about you haven't even get a conversation with the leader of the opposition. That is a personal conversation you should have. That's not for radio. Yeah. That is not for radio. If there's an issue, how could you say, like Doug is saying that, he was expecting the NDP to go down to Buckerman to demonstrate. Demonstrate for what? What is there to demonstrate? But yet he found himself in the Grenadines.
Let me tell you something.
I mean, if you want to demonstrate, if you want to demonstrate, go down there and demonstrate yourself.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Don't take Dove Howard serious. Dove Howard is a cry baby. Don't worry. He just wants to be on top of the political campaign and then making a whole heap of noise, but still say he and supporting the NDP. He not advocating the NDP to the Simmons and he set of rubbish. Yes.
No, and really, I think some of the stuff they're saying, those are stuff for private conversation. Yes. Those are not for radio. If you really saying you want the NDP to win, how could you be out there saying these things? Yes, I mean,
I share your view. I have the same opinion because whenever I critique the NDP and I do it constructively, they will beat me like a slingshot night, day, and center. So I agree with you. And I beg to be associated with your comments. Yes.
Yeah, well, let them beat me up because I take offense to what they're saying on these Saturday mornings. Yes. If you really want the NDP to win, you invite Dr. Friday, invite Mr. Leacock, let them come and talk about what is their plan, what is going on. Yes. Instead of you getting there and talking about the PRO and this one and sometimes I think it's like a comedy show.
But I hear one of the gentlemen just called and said that he is not in a position and he's not going to take any political lesson from his brother. His brother normally be on the program, and I said, wow, Sinke Leacock have some balls, man. Yeah, man.
And I agree with Mr. Leacock.
Yeah.
I mean, I was trying to call that morning because I was so offended and annoyed to hear these gentlemen saying they're big supporters of NDP and little petty thing you're out there talking about. Okay, if Dr. Friday haven't sit down with you to talk, reach out to him, have a private conversation. Don't get on radio and make it a personal issue, because it really, I mean, and I love Mr. De Freitas. I love him. I think he's doing a good job for St. Vincent with his radio, but those are personal things that should not be sharing on radio. Go directly and talk. Call Dr. Friday and say exactly what's going on.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. I can guarantee you that Dougie is hearing, and Dougie is going to respond to some of your query and your thoughts and deal with the issue. And I agree with you that Ballantyne is the only one who strike a balance when coming commentary on Nice Radio on Saturday mornings. So you're right. Yes.
Well, thank you, and I hope he really called, because I'm offended as a supporter and I've been supporting NDP since I was 18 years old.
Wow!
I've been since Prime Minister James Mitchell was there.
Yes.
You know, and to hear that you're talking that you can't expect to get into government when you're talking these ill things. I mean, and I'm telling you, I know Dr. Friday is working. I know Mr. Leacock is working. I know Mr. Cummins is working. I know Fitz is, all of them are working. But then yet they get on the radio. Well, you know, they're doing work on the ground. Okay, well, if they're doing that, why not speak about the things they're doing instead of talking about some of the unnecessary things, petty things, really. Petty things, because if Dr. Friday, if I am a supporter of the NDP, which I am, and Dr. Friday haven't called me to discuss politics, what's the big deal with that? I'm not a member of the party. I'm not a vice president.
Yeah, they bend out a sheep and a whole heap of nonsense. But so let me see if Dougie will call and respond to the issues that you raise, okay? And thanks for calling.
Thank you very much. Okay. Well, thank you. I'm not disrespecting Mr. De Freitas. I think as I said, he's doing good. Yeah. But those little things that need to have private conversations with those things they're talking about.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
And I thank you, my friend, man. You know, I love you, man. I love your show, really. I love you.
Okay, we seem to have another call. Yeah. Good evening.
Yes, I'm just telling you good night again, my friend.
Jonathan, you all right?
Yes, I'm good. Every Tuesday night I put on my radio and I listen. You have a blessed and a wonderful night.
Thank you, Johnny, for calling. Have a great evening. Yeah, we see another call today.
Bye.
Yeah, let me go on to Anta.
Yes, Kingsley. Good evening. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
You okay?
Yeah. I sound like all right. I like me tailing me back tonight.
Man, but here they say Kingsley, old corporal, right? Should not be allowed to fool by privates. And you're an old corporal, here they say. I don't know if it's the Israeli language that's get you or the Ukrainian accent. But here you're laughing, If you sit down the Kingsley, my friend, and think that with a man they just now something belongs to you, well then I lost confidence in you.
You got to lose the confidence in me anyhow. I back it, my friend.
But and here now, and listen, that is you are entitled. But you think we're saying that you can't be a support and bring in a. Remember your opening statement, you know. You understand what I said? So if you sit there and think some of it look, I didn't me recliner with me foot elevated and I'm cackling by myself. You will think I'm crazy. Kamal, good evening. Because here, all where you sit there, whole night from the start and with Candyman, you think some of it ain't for you? Well, sit down there. My mother used to say that if you wait for your name called, you ain't go hear it.
But
you understand what I'm saying?
And I hear something, right? I spoke to an NDP guy today, and I know you listening. He asked me a question. He said, "Are you supporting NDP state?" I tell him yes. He said, so I say, "But you know I love Gonsalve." Hey, him, don't love Gonsalve because Gonsalve say you want to support him and he's a blight. I said, Gonsalve, go say you want to say, but if Gonsalves do something good, I'm going to maintain that Gonsalves. You know what I do at airport now? Anytime you play in land, I just say, thank God for Ralph Gonsalves. If you think Ralph Gonsalves, you see them playing here. If you don't want people to shut up here out there.
But Kingsley, you ain't say nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong?
You're not saying it. It's true. Because had it not been for him, nobody know that if they go there. And I just always tell people, in 1980 something, that is one of the things that he told me he was going to do. And I had a doubt because I travel all over the place and every place was flat. So I was wondering where you were going to put it, and it's out there.
Cinco Rica is less than America what took place at Argyle. So when they talk about international airport at Argyle, it plus for me. Yes.
Yeah, and now another thing, I am not saying that Dr. Friday said what people say he said because it don't have to be so, but he put in his neck on the block that year and says so. And here they say, if you did come on the radio and say that somebody tell you that Ralph Gonsalves says so, he would have said Ralph Gonsalves says so. And Ralph Gonsalves don't have to go behind your back to tell you that. You know he will tell you right at the airport in front of everybody, man, you're a traitor. So nobody want to have a come tell you. You see the difference here? And here, I'm not saying that Mr. Friday says so, because I always say that Mr. Friday is a decent man and politics is not for him. You know, he's in the wrong one because he's trying. And listen, Kingsley, you ever listen to Parliament and listen to Mr. Friday trying to shout to reach up with Cummings and Bramble and what do you other man name who like for box people in the face? And so I can't want to call his name because when I come home, I can't see him. I go look for boxing in the face and I see it coming. I mean, Mr. Friday, and when he tried to shout, he sung wrong. It's not his calling. I mean, you know, that he ain't rowdy. I ain't bringing him down. I'm just talking the man. You understand what I'm saying to you? Yes. Politics is not fair. Politics is with people like Mr. Lika condemn this.
But you know, here can the man say he got that Friday is the leader because he's making the job easier for Ralph.
But wait, he say he's God gives to the ULP. Well, yeah, I not because my friend Candyman said it all. Yes. And then now he say that it's all right when he come on radio. And he, you know, you say that some time ago you say that, you know, when he talk, he's get under my skin. But here they say, things how we go get under my skin too thick. The only way he could get under my skin is if he bring an eviction notice and I have to go in a shelter. Because I have plenty valuable I would like to take. And in a shelter, you only allowed 3 garbage bags. If he come with I tell me that Uncle Chodo decide I'm no longer his niece, then he will get under my skin. Nothing else. You understand what I'm saying? But it's okay. He have his opinion. And he would say how kind of thing, Barack, but Candy can't talk about Jomo. I mean, like, come on. Everybody had their opinion, and I ain't listen to me company radio. I listen to him if I want to listen. I don't have to wait, but I listen to everybody. But only them, they alone have opinion.
You fell again under your skin, man. You don't want to admit that.
Well, how we go get under me skin, things I don't even know the man, and I don't care too.
Me just tell people, when it come to you, I'm not talking bad boy, Ralph and Bones, because I will get anti-vex.
No, the henna is 2 people. No. You could say anything but them way on. Yeah, it go bother me, but they could defend themselves. You know, Mother Jocelyn in her grave, she's like, you see, when Bones it switch, how we switch, and immediately and call her to she, and she called me when she called me. She said, Anta, Bones meet me in tongue today, and he called out to me. And look, I gave him some water. And you know why I tell she? I say, hey, they say, the water, the way you said it, is like water, and a duck back to he. Yeah. If he meet it tomorrow, he go call her to you again. You know Bones, you know anything let's get Bones vex?
No, 2 people me don't get vex so easy, Bones and Julian Francis. Don't care what tell them.
So, okay, so hey, so if they ain't getting vex, Kingsley, why I getting vex for them?
I hear you.
I ain't going crazy for nobody, because I ain't going for me, not even if you send me. I don't, you know, I don't get vex for Bones because, but you pass and you said you was saying and Bones even looking left and right. He meet it tomorrow and call it to you same way. You feel me? Yeah, man. So, anyway, let me say good night to all my men, friends, and Janet Matthews. You know, I come St. Vincent. Yeah, come look for me. I send message, Gail. When last you see Mrs. Jones Kingsley?
Yesterday, your name came up.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a job, go to Cedars, so I pass it and use the convener. She's okay. As you say, she was having a little challenge, but she's much better today. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You must always tell her hello
Yes,
for me,
yes,
man.
yes,
Yes.
yes. Okay.
Yes. And okay, with the late Gloria. Gloria said that she don't know me. Kenzie, next time that you see her, show her my picture. Gloria, you know me like a thief. I used to sell on the Chapman Gallery as the only one used to sell household under there.
Yeah.
And I used to come in the restaurant every day and buy a patty.
Yeah.
And when you move into the
George McIntosh
oh
Market.
gosh, Macintosh Market,
Yeah.
my friend Silma used to, you know now who you're talking to. And every time I come to visit, I used to come and buy a food for my. Let me get open, Joe Kingsley, before I get up. One day we went there to buy lunch because I used to like her fish. So my friend Silma said to her, because she had a place in the next door. So Silma said, Gloria, how this fish is pretty so I say, I know what she do. She watch me. She said, how you could know what it is I do. So Selma said to she could cook, you know. So I went and I whisper in her ear. So she know exactly what she talking to that. So I said, what she did, she just watched me and smile. So when we went back in Selma place and I taste the fish, I tell Selma exactly what the recipe was. So Selma went back and tell her, she started laughing.
Well, I have
So
a friend. I have a friend who this is Span. I can't remember. He used to get his lunch day almost every day. So,
You mean by Gloria?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. She could meet me, but she can't beat me.
All right then. If you say so.
All right then.
All right.
Yeah. All right, my dear. You get home safe.
Yeah.
Come on. I tried to get in Sunday, man, but you did so busy. I can't even get the phone.
That the first time we talk when we come in. Me hear you, so me ask him, he say you abandoned him.
No, that is not true, now, man. You don't abandon your friends, man. Your friends don't forsake you, you know.
Okay.
Yes. So anyway, I'll try to get in next Sunday. You sung much better today, though, Kamal. What's the secret?
He had some brown sugar plus some sugar water.
You get home safe. Good night.
Thank you for calling, Anta. Yes, okay.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
The time in St. Vincent and the Grenadines is just 29 minutes, 30 seconds on to 10 o'clock. You listen to Feedback Program, and it's sponsored by Basil's Bar. We'll just take a break and come back with your thoughts.
Whatever you are celebrating, birthdays, anniversaries, engagements, retirement, or just celebrating life, the place to be is at Basil's Bar Kingstown. Established for over 38 years, we are open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner with an exquisite ambiance. We have a set menu and 3 a la carte menus to choose from, and we are flexible to all requests. We go above and beyond to serve you. Basil's Bar Kingstown, where it's more than just a meal, it's an adventure. Call for reservations at 457-2713.
It's Feedback with host Kingsley DeFreitas. This and every Tuesday night from 8 p.m. for 2 full hours, right here on WeFM 99.9. Join him as he brings different guests weekly on this informative and interactive program. It's Feedback. To be a part of the Feedback program, call us at 457-9997 or send us a WhatsApp at 457-9997. It's Feedback.
The time in St. Vincent and the Grenadines is 28 minutes, 30 seconds on to 10. Tonight's program is being currently sponsored by Basil's. You find them downstairs in Copperstone at Basil's in Villa, and definitely a must-see. We have a wide variety of listeners on our Facebook page. Kamal going to read some of them, and we reserve the right not to read some, okay? So we acknowledging you that you're there having a conversation, and you could send your WhatsApp at 457-99.
You really want me to
yeah, just read some of them.
Facebook carries an audience that say what they want, how they want it, and so forth,
some of them get locked up by Facebook police.
Well, I ain't really too sure about that, but I could read the first one that says "Good night, Kingsley."
Well, thanks for your good night. That is really the language. Yeah. Dove up there.
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think I saw
that individual this evening. What about Carla Douglas? He's up there?
I'm not too sure. Okay. I haven't really gone through. We have somebody from Puerto Rico listening.
Oh, that's nice.
Who says hello. It says hello to everyone.
And they probably say that.
Somebody says, "Well, I love the Man Age song. It's the people." I don't know what's that about.
Yeah.
I guess you might know. We have a caller. So let's say this. But we missed a caller there.
457-9997. You can call us on the landline. Call us on WhatsApp at the same number, and you can still send your WhatsApp messages to that.
All right, we have one that says, and this is let me put it up on screen too. It says, if he has a proposal,
Bigger Bigs?
Well, it will be referring to Bigger Bigs. If he has a proposal, then that can be beneficial to the country. Don't you think the bigger picture should be looked at instead of the petty nonsense?
Well, I take everything with Bigger Bigs says petty nonsense. I don't take him serious. We have a caller. Good evening. Good evening. Hello. Yeah, the post wants to talk. Is that right?
All right. We'll try again. All
right. I saw an indication from Frank. He was calling earlier. So Frank, the line is open. You can call.
I'm just gonna say that I'm seeing I don't know if it's a
voice note.
It says, "Why is Ralph not rehiring the capeless heroes?"
Well, that's a good question. Candyman goes to next week.
I noticed there's a voice note here, and I do not play voice notes.
Yeah, because what is said can be taken back after it is said. So we prefer to not play the voice note because we don't know how some people just can't control their behavior when they can't get under the skin.
I guess this one is for you, Kingsley. Says, fire him for what? Bigger Bigs is of intention.
No, but I am yet to be convinced by Bigger Bigs and who advocating for Bigger Bigs. I listened to them this morning and I get there. He said he has a project. It's in his head. And only he alone, nobody project. How could I endorse a project that only Bigger Bigs alone could speak about? And so I'm not going to give him a serious thought.
Let's try.
Good evening.
Let's try it one more time.
Hello.
Good evening.
This is Frank De Silva.
Hey, Frank. Yes, Frank.
Yeah, I'm smiling about something, but I won't say what it is. Yeah, because I won't say what it is. Now, Kingsley, you aware of Mr. Heat from South Africa and the Fletchers?
Yes, I remember what took place around that day.
Let me tell you something. The worst things that were ever said about St. Vincent and the Grenadines on ABC, and I can't remember the other station, was said back then. All kind of nasty things about the police and the justice system in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So when somebody come on now, and maybe they weren't born yet, so they come on and talk this stuff. Next question. Any NDP people live in Tobago?
NDP people? They live all over the world?
Yeah.
They live in Tobago? Why didn't the Tobago people want sandals there? Must be a bunch of NDP people living there. You see, I got no problem with outside investment and all of them. Anybody know that? You had people lighting fire in the streets in Canawan. You had people blocking people when the Otley Hall project was on its way. Yes. But they forget. They forget. Anyway, they came after, right? And real embarrassment, real embracing all these projects, aren't they? And bringing more. You see, I tell you something. The problem is people like to, because I have a son, I have children. When they're doing wrong, when I don't think they're doing right, I have a right to tell them doing their right. Why is every criticism is pulled down? Is every criticism a pull down rather than people should take stock and say maybe Kingsley has a point?
Why not? That is the approach you should take. Maybe Kingsley has a point. Don't just come in and say you're criticizing, and if you're supporting, you can't criticize. And guess what? Open rebuke is better than secret love. That's the Bible. So if now anybody wants to come on, and how you know you need to discuss it with them and there's no improvement? And Kingsley, I go on, but let me tell you something. I sent you have on your phone right now the response from the EU from Bigger Bigs. You think if that project that they got there was stupid, they would have given that response, Kingsley? Come on.
Well,
and one more thing. You all said it. Yes, go ahead.
Based on the EU, if they approve what was sent to them, the proposal by Bigger Bigs, it has to have some work.
So, but you have the response right there, and you still, I made sure, because you said last week, I made sure you got it, and you're still there tonight calling Bigger Bigs, cry baby and all kind of things. Kingsley, you remember Diamond Dairy? You know what that was about?
Yeah, of course I remember Diamond Dairy.
Okay, you want to tell me if the project that was outlined to the EU when they gave a song and say he should approach this, give him who he should do, who right? Yes. You think the fruits, and when people I hear comments talking about new economy, somebody should press him on what the hell he's talking about. Because clearly we had Diamond Dairy and all of them, and the object of that exercise was to utilize the fruits we have going to waste in the country.
Yes, I remember that.
From I big so I drink in Trinidad orange juice and grapefruit juice. Why can't we copy those things? Imagine Kingsley. I'm in New York. I'm driving, and I tend to want to drink only natural stuff,
Yeah.
Like a drink named Snapple. But I go into this place to buy a drink, and what do you think is on the drink? Banana drink. And guess where it's from? Poland. So I say, but Poland don't plant banana, so how I in New Jersey buying a banana drink from Poland? I bought bottles and brought them back to St. Vincent. Had meetings with the Chamber of Commerce when they were in, I think, that building up donate to Treasury. You know what I was told? For example, like mango, how we don't have enough varieties of one variety. In the meantime, I got a Snapple in my hand that has this, passion fruit, that and that. Go up all things mixed up in one bottle. And they're telling me this stuff. Listen, what we need. And you all made the point that I know didn't hear Bigger Bigs, okay? But how many times you hear NDP talking about the Bigger Bigs project and what they will do? And encourage other people to get into it? That is the message that they ought to be sending. And if they're not doing that, people got a right to criticize them. And what? Okay. Ralph Gonsalves, my partner, is not spiteful and vindictive or nothing. I can't remember the guy's name, came up with a song, the K-Plus Heroes.
Yeah, nice song.
Ralph went to the UN and tried to get them to adopt the song. We know now what is happening with anybody who took those vaccines. They drop it like flies and all, you can't deny it. But Ralph Gonsalves, my partner, who I beg to listen to what I'm sending to you, read them, and don't force people out of work because of this Bill Gates experiment. You listen?
Yeah.
The evidence is there now. In the Parliament of the UK, excess debts. In the US, excess debt. In the Philippines, excess debt. But rather than Ralph Gonsalves, the compassionate man, get these people back to work so they don't starve. he insists on going to court to prove what? You know what? I will soon make public the latest declaration from Bill Gates. Who, after he made $550 million, said the vaccine ain't no good. Good night, Kingsley.
Good night, Frank. Thanks
Good
for
night.
calling. Yes, okay. That's Frank the Silver, and as I say, I'm making a request. Tell her what the request is for management to give me some permission to bring Frank on the open forum. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, greetings, Brother Kingsley, Kamal, and the rest of the audience, listeners.
Yeah,
Kungo Shakir.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about what I want to talk about. Just to tell you, your discussions of them tonight are very interesting. Huh? Yeah. But I was thinking back now from call, right? I never debate anything at all whatsoever pertaining to Bigger Biz and his situation. Never yet. They must be the first time ever going and speak.
Yeah, me too.
On this
I never discussed anything related to him and his black project and what he go through and what he didn't go through. I stay mute to that. But like Frank said, he sent me and I have to check when I go up there. But I am not convinced. I am not convinced. Yes.
Okay, so Kingsley, you didn't actually go into the information Frank sent you, right? You didn't go into it, right?
No, not as yet. Not as yet.
Okay, so because if you had gone into it, I would ask you, why did you support that he had it in his mind, or we in Ras was saying his irates, right? But actually it's on pen and paper, because I was taken back to when the Virgin had on was saying that, because I remember, because I do take Frank word, because when Frank said that he has all the documents, I don't know, well, there's a truth about it.
No, but,
so it's kind of jam.
But Bongo Shaka, over the years, we have get accustomed to Frank the Saver. Whenever Frank the Saver speak, we don't have to worry about him saying something and making up a story. He's always factual up until today. So I never question Frank when Frank speaks and sort of things, because Frank is one of the person who used to guide me what to say, how to say, where to say it. So I know that he has a responsibility and does it quite clearly. So I believe that something is in it. No, Frank said it for me. I'll read it and see if it will change my opinion of what Bigger Biz.
Kingsley, I'll tell you this. I know you'll be pretty busy, and so I know you, the man, go sleep early. I and Frank will be up late, all 2, 3, 4 o'clock. We sending each other stuff,
Yeah.
But you see, if I had a guest on a program I had, right, and an issue that he brought into the flow, which was last week, and Frank said he didn't have the document, if he could do come down again, right? And the same guest sent those information to I. What I'll do, I be so interested that I go find time as quickly as possible and go through it. Even in not in a full session, if it'll take an hour, 2, whatever, I'll take it bit by bit, and take some fine notes in it. And when I come on my program, which is tonight now, I'll discuss on it,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'll give that some thoughts, and your thoughts is what we're considering. So I will do that and see where we can go with that discussion.
Because Kingsley, as we always say, not the messenger is what is the message, and if it's something that could develop, I don't concern who government take it up, which party when government take it. If it's something that is very prosperous for our country and the people, development of people in particular, which develop the country after, and it work hand in hand.
Yes.
It will be good indeed,
Yes.
So I never want to speak about the Virgin and his problem what he encountered. I always just listen.
Yeah.
But I will say this, and before I'm going to say this. When I listen at time, the lawyer who he went to had told him when he put his grievance to him, right, that he should take a lawyer. I always say, if I was in that position, I would have taken a lawyer, and maybe that said lawyer too,
Yeah, I heard the lawyer
so
saying
when I heard that,
Yes.
Kingsley, And that was said by the lawyer about a year or so ago. I'm subject to correction, but this thing was going on for quite a while. And I was taken back because I never hear the man himself, speak fully on it, about approaching this, approaching that. Yeah. Because things, what I noticed, I think a lot of people here take radio too much and align themselves with a political party and then put the worries or troubles or whatever they're encountering with the ruling government. I always say, why do they do that? The first thing is going to, radio code because this and that. How will you know if you haven't tried and tested it? Yeah. How will you know that? Yeah. I always say the proof is there. So it's better you go to the court and then after that, you can say what you want to say. Because why you going to make a pronouncement and say, okay, no, you won't get no redress in the court. No, you haven't tried it. You haven't tested it. Yeah. So that's why I never get involved in the debate. Because I think too much of time people bring in these are personal things to deal with first in the court of law. There's court. Go to the court of law. Don't talk about, the man say, if I go to the court, you have to come back to Papa, all these foolishness. Man, take the thing to court. That's how I see it. Anything you have, you agree, do not align with political party. You will not get more pressure. That's the spirit of politics, partisan politics. Yeah. You're going to get more pressure. You can't realize that. You got to be wise in this time. Just talk. Yeah, because wherever you talk, you cannot retract back. Yeah, so you have to be mindful. Yeah, Kingsley. Yeah. So, man, give thanks. As I said, it was very interesting, but I don't get much in it. I don't like to use radio program for personality conflicts. Because to me, that's very immature. Okay. Too much personality conflict. You are person could go and see a man, as communists say, go in the man office, talk to the man, or have a drink and all that. Talk, you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't like the radio using radio time to personality. That's I see come out of some of the discussion, but I'm glad you bring out these things, for a reason.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, man. So give thanks, Kingsley. So go through that document from Frank, man, and we can see what take place. You're non-partial, man. Yes. And I don't do no taekwondo. I am a Shotokan karateka. Okay. Right. Shotokan, okay? That's the original. Taekwondo come after that, right? Okay. Original, no man, Rastafari. Right. Yeah, bless up, Kamal, and my girl, Anton, blessed love to you, and Mr. Barbie, I him tonight. Yeah, okay. That's something.
We have a
call. Man,
okay. Safe. All right. Good evening. Good evening.
Hey, what's up?
Everything is all right, sir.
Yeah, I agree with you, Gypsy.
Hey, Queens.
Gypsy fellas wasn't prepared. Yeah.
I catch your voice. Yeah, Gypsy should have been prepared for last night. She was not prepared.
She wasn't prepared, was the point. Did you not interview her already on on Cross Country?
Man, you have a good memory. I did interview her once at Cross Country Radio. Your memory good, man.
Yeah, she studied in Taiwan, right?
Yeah, she studied in Taiwan. Yeah, she's a professional. Yeah, she has a profession, yes.
I think she did say on that program that people like Hansing and them singing for the supper. My memory serves me right.
but I tell you some people who singing for the supper look real good because I see a guy yesterday. I said, "Boy, I want to sing like you." Yeah.
They pay their bills. The Saturday morning program not supposed to be technically, it's not an NDP program,
It's not an NDP program? Everything on night
it's like NDP. It's like towards NDP, but it's not an NDP program, per se,
We doggy say that. But anything happen on night radio NDP.
Carl don't criticize the NDP if you notice that, The other people criticize the NDP, but not.
But Carl have a program and it have his sponsor. You think Carl will go and criticize the NDP? And think you never know. But all I could tell you is anything said by Night Radio about NDP, you could take it to hook, line, and sinker. That's all I could tell you.
Yeah. 2 weeks ago when they criticized the NDP, Carl jump in and start reading a story about the guy that got shot. Yes. Because you want to divert the conversation away from them criticizing the NDP. Yes. That's why he did that, to divert the conversation,
All right there. Okay.
But one more thing. What can the man say about the police in Port of Spain? He writes about that. I've seen that where the police in Trinidad push people in a crowd, just walking through a crowd and just push people away just like that.
No.
I've seen already in a place called Frederick Street, Port of Spain, where a vehicle passing by and two guys in plain clothes, police officer, just jump out and saw two guys, and a third police officer came out with a vest marked police with a long machine gun. So he's right about that with the police in Trinidad.
Yes, man. Okay, Queen, it's time for you to go.
All right.
All right.
Gotta go. All right. So good night.
Yeah. Okay.
Bye.
5 minutes, 30 seconds on to 10 o'clock. We want to thank Basil's Bar for sponsoring our program. We want to thank all the persons who just sit there and didn't call but listen. We love you more. Those persons who call and send their WhatsApp page, and we really appreciate you. You make the program quite interesting, and it's one of the better programs that I actually enjoy myself tonight. Good to know. I'm going to line up the song for Patches, and Patches, you like to hear this song again. What is it? Papa that say, leave me, I don't want to champ me ball, no? Okay, so I ain't taking a champ. Come on, it's time for me to go home, I have a plan for tomorrow to make some money. Tomorrow is Wednesday. All right, have a good evening. I gone.
Whatever you are celebrating, birthdays, anniversaries, engagements, retirement, or just celebrating life, the place to be is at Basil's Bar Kingstown. Established for over 38 years, we are open for breakfast, lunch,